It would do JS8, FT8, but I didn't feel very satisfied with that. So I've switched to JS8 and messed with it for a while. And finally last week I got it at QSO.
W1BK, is he clear?
Michigan. So
net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Call the Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDA-BYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2378 with a release date of Friday, May 26, 2023 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST, deadly floods ravage a region in Italy. Hamvention 2023 is just a memory now, and a tragic antenna accident claims a noted contester's life. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2378 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG.
Our top story this week takes us to Italy, where deadly floods in one region have displaced and disrupted lives and the economy. This is to be the location of the World Radio Sport Team Championship later this summer, as we hear from Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
The siege by flooding that displaced more than 36,000 people and killed at least 14, Italy's Emilia-Romagna region has received some limited support from amateur radio. Greg Mossop, G0DUB, Emergency Communications Coordinator for IARU Region 1, told Newsline Hams made use of local VHF repeaters to resume communications within affected towns until mobile and landline phone networks could be put back into service. He said the failures were not severe enough for local authorities to ask regional ham radio emergency networks to activate. Hams did remain on standby, ready to use HF, VHF and digital voice if necessary. Greg said the IARU received the information from Alberta Barbera, IK1YL, of the RNRE Radio Communication Network. Alberta said the affected area asked for additional support from other countries in the region to provide extra pumping capacity, and those teams made use of VHF, UHF commercial communications supported by Starlink satellite terminals. Separately, organisers of the World Radio Sports Team Championship, to be held this summer in Bologna in this flood-impacted region, were keeping an eye on the challenging conditions. Luca Alperandi, IK2NCJ, who handles media and communication for the event, said on the WRTC Group's I.O. list that if some sites for WRTC are unusable, competitor stations may need to be relocated further north. He wrote, "Our will and dedication to organising WRTC 2022 will be stronger than any adversity." This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
As Newsline went to production, the Australian Maritime College announced that it was severing its relationship with the Australian regulator for providing amateur licensee services. The college and the Australian Communications and Media Authority will go their separate ways in February 2024. Before the college's selection in 2019, services such as exams and call sign recommendations were provided through the Wireless Institute of Australia. The ACMA is to take the role of call sign allocation and exam syllabus control in-house to go with the licensing role which it already fulfills, and to do this under the new class license framework. The ACMA said it would release a consultation on the new accreditation scheme this coming August, at the same time as the new class licensing arrangements take effect. In the U.S., the FCC has a busy June ahead of itself. It's taking a second and perhaps a third look at spectrum allocations. And there's a new candidate nominated to join them, as we hear from Paul Brown, WD9 GCO.
In June, the U.S. Federal Communications Commission will revisit ways the radio spectrum can be utilized more efficiently and study the proposed testing of a few uses on part of the 42 gigahertz band in the so-called greenfield spectrum. Greenfield spectrum refers to the part of the spectrum that is unutilized. The FCC's focus has been intensifying on this, along with other parts of the spectrum, because of the growing demand for its use by emerging wireless services and limited places to authorize their operation. FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel announced this plan in the Commission's June agenda, posting her message on the agency website on May 17th. She said that the 42 gigahertz band was an apt place for conducting experiments with various spectrum access models because of the absence of licensed users there. This is Paul Brown, WD9 GCO. This year's Dayton Hamvention was another success, with several vendors returning after an absence along with some great weather. The rain was mostly overnight on Friday and caused minimal disruption. The main buzz was about two new handheld radios being announced, one from ICOM America and another from JVC Kenwood, who returned to Hamvention after being absent since the start of the pandemic. 2023 Hamvention of the Year Carson Network received a standing ovation in front of a large crowd attending his forum about his work to house evacuated Ukrainian family members, as well as shipping donated radio gear, power banks, solar cells, and first aid kits for use to assist operators despite the partial Russian invasion. Steve Morgan, W4NHO, was recognized with the Spirit of Amateur Radio Award for his work in coordinating disaster relief communications during the recent Eastern Kentucky flooding. The Voice of America Museum in nearby Westchester, Ohio, had expanded hours during Hamvention and reported record attendance of nearly 400 visitors. The youth socials at the Yoda booth were standing room only, and many hams were greeted by the first known live duck to attend Hamvention, Mochi, accompanied by Junie N1DUC, who was promoting her new YouTube channel and educating people about domesticated ducks.
Finally, 2023 marked the return of our own Newsline Town Hall. Attendees heard international updates from Tim Ellen, VE3SH, the president of IARU. Riley Hollingsworth, K4ZDH, returned to the Town Hall to talk about the ARRL Volunteer Monitoring Program, while Mark Smith, N6MTS, proposed a new open headset interconnect standard to assist with group activities and MCOM. AM radio isn't quite dead yet among those selling cars in the U.S. One car maker has shifted gears into reverse, literally. Here's Kip Peterson, KC0DGY, with an update.
In the United States, the Ford Motor Company has reversed an earlier decision to eliminate AM radio in its new cars, trucks, and SUVs. The carmaker's announcement was made on Tuesday, May 23rd, on the heels of a bipartisan bill introduced in Washington, D.C., pressing for AM broadcast radio's retention as a public safety measure. Ford CEO Jim Farley announced on social media that the reversal came after discussions with government policy leaders who believe the elimination of AM broadcast radio in vehicles will cut motorists off from essential emergency alerts transmitted on those frequencies. The CEO wrote on Twitter that all 2024 Ford and Lincoln vehicles would include AM radio. He added, quote, for any owners of Ford EVs without AM broadcast capability, we'll offer a software update, end quote. The update would restore AM functionality. The U.S. Federal Communications Commission has also thrown its support behind the proposed legislation that seeks to halt the trend towards automakers' removal of AM broadcasts in U.S. vehicles. The bill, introduced May 17th, is known as the AM for Every Vehicle Act. The FCC cannot regulate what automakers do, but was nonetheless vocal about the value AM radio has to motorists who may need to receive emergency alerts while on the road. Other manufacturers, including Volvo, Tesla, and BMW, have indicated they are dropping AM radio from their new electric cars because of interference between the vehicle's electrical operating system and the AM broadcast band. The Associated Press did not immediately receive comment from the other car makers. The bill's opponents, including the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, which represents U.S. automakers, called the AM radio proposal unnecessary. They say that the U.S. warning system, operated by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, can also deliver safety warnings by other means, such as FM broadcast, satellite, and cellular networks. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Emergency preparedness got a needed boost in South Carolina, and Kevin Trotman in 5PRE has those details.
Dorchester County, South Carolina, is getting ready for hurricane season on the ground and in the air. High atop a 226-foot tower, members of the county's Emergency Management Office have been installing an antenna system that will allow the county's amateur radio response team a wider communication range with first responders during emergencies. The hams are members of DART, the Dorchester Amateur Radio Team. County officials told the local CBS TV station that the installation is designed to close a communications gap between Columbia and as far away as Charleston in South Carolina, a need that became apparent after Hurricane Ian struck the region last autumn. As storm season approaches again, the Emergency Management Office is supplementing this antenna work high in the air by taking on some serious training on the ground. Emergency officials will soon be teaching classes to help get more volunteers prepared for their amateur radio technician license. This is Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the KJ3LR repeater in Bradenton, Florida, on Fridays at 10 p.m. An antenna accident has claimed the life of another ham, a well-known DXer and contester. We have those details from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
A noted DXer, contester, and CW enthusiast from Germany has become a silent key. Bernhard Buettner, DL6RAI, who was known to everyone as Ben, was killed following an accident while doing antenna work at his QTH in Aruba. Writing about his friend's death, Martin, DL5RMH, said that they were working together to prepare to change one of the antenna masts when the mast Ben was tending to buckled unexpectedly, and Ben fell to the ground, could not be revived despite immediate first aid and the work of an ambulance rescue crew. Ben Newsline's own account of his ham radio life reflects a long and enduring love for active radio operation around the world. He fell in love with CW as a shortwave listener in 1978 after decoding a message he copied from a local ham. He worked to gain proficiency in Morse, and by March of 1980, the 16-year-old radio enthusiast passed his license test, qualifying at 12 words per minute. An avid traveler, he operated from at least 45 countries around the globe and became a serious contester using CW, RTTY, and the digital modes. Between 2002 and 2005, he was the WAE DX contest manager for the DARC. From 2007 to 2019, he was president of the prestigious Bavarian Contest Club. He purchased the QTH in Aruba in 2014 from another ham and was operating from there intermittently as P4/DL6RAI or P44X. His widow Louise, is also an amateur with the call sign DL2MLU. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
Newsline takes this opportunity to remind listeners to please follow safety precautions always when doing antenna work or any other radio activity that presents a potential hazard, such as this. In one Massachusetts community, amateur radio is helping shine a brighter spotlight on a public event for cancer awareness. We have those details from Andy Morrison, K9 AWM. While participants in the annual Relay for Life take thousands of steps around a college athletics track during a two-day fundraiser for cancer research, the Mohawk Amateur Radio Club will be taking steps too. These Massachusetts amateurs will be on the air as the two-day event steps off on Friday, June 9th at 6 p.m. local time. They will be on the campus of the Mount Wachusett Community College, reaching out globally over the airwaves to raise awareness of the life-saving work of the American Cancer Society. The hams will be on 20 and 40 meters during the day and will switch to 80 meters at night. As in the past, many of those answering the call of station N1WW are likely to have cancer survival stories of their own, and some of the operators, such as Jack Burgoyne, W1PFC, will be sharing theirs. Jack and Club President Kevin Erickson, N1ERS, spoke to the Gardner News website recently about the event and the club's history of providing support to it. With a big turnout of spectators expected as individual teams in the relay make their rounds on the track, the ham club will also be raising its own profile. The club hopes people will take a moment to visit the club trailer and check out the radios that are carrying an important message around the world. This is Andy Morrison, K9 AWM. The power of QRV isn't always measured in watts or even milliwatts. Jim Meachins at L2BHF explains.
It started as a long-ago suggestion from the New Zealand Association of Radio Transmitters, which suggested to IARU Region 3 in 1997 that QRP operation be given its day in the sun, literally. Since then, Region 3 societies have helped advance involvement in such QRP activities as QRP Field Day, QRP contests, instructions for QRP kit building, and publication of articles about QRP operating. That's all about to get even more intense on June 17th, which will once again be QRP Day throughout IARU Region 3. Writing to IARU member societies, directors, and liaison officers, Yuki JH1NBN, Region 3 Secretary, encouraged promotion of QRP operation, particularly when it's highlighted on that day. He wrote in his letter that QRP, quote, offers advantages concerning, among others, the reduction of QRM on the amateur band, end quote. The day promises a powerful outcome. This is Jim Meacham at L2BHF.
The 100 watts in a wire community, which has been around since 2015, has chosen the weekend of June 9th, 10th, and 11th as its tune-up weekend annual spring operating event. That means that operators will be on the air calling CQ tune-up on June 9th, 10th, and 11th on any band and at any time during those 3 days and in any mode, including digital. If you're a member of the 100 Watts in a Wire community, exchange your membership numbers with one another. And if you're not a member, you can still make a contact and then check out the 100 Watts in a Wire podcast. Membership is free, and as podcast producer Christian Kudnick, K0STH, notes, the weekend event is a perfect time to test your equipment and operating skills in preparation for field day and to get out of the shack for some fresh air while on the air. In the world of DX, be listening for members of the Rockall DXpedition MM0UKI. They are hoping to set a new record on the air from the uninhabitable Granite Islet in the North Atlantic Ocean. This rare location has the IOTA designation of EU189 and is grid square IO37DO. The team departed for the island on May 25th and will be on the air around the clock using sideband CW and FT8 on 40 through 10 meters as well as 2 meters. Details and QSL information are on QRZ.com. We remind our listeners that the window closes on May 31st to nominate a promising young radio amateur for this year's Amateur Radio Newsline Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Young hams who live in the continental United States have an opportunity to make news of their own in the world. Think of an amateur radio operator 18 years of age or younger, someone who has talent, promise, and a commitment to the spirit of ham radio. Find the nomination form on our website, arnewsline.org, under the Awards tab. Time is about to run out. For our final story, we ask you to imagine being missing and lost for 3 decades. Listen to this story of an older man's 30-year journey back to his family thanks to ham radio. Jason Daniels, VK2LAW, has his story.
For one homeless grandfather from Nepal, this was a homecoming that was 3 decades in the making. With the help of a merchant in a busy Bengali business district and a group of ham radio operators in West Bengal. The man, identified as Bir Bahadur Singh, had been spotted as a vagrant by a Bengali businessman who reached out to the West Bengal Radio Club. He knew the club's reputation for using their wide-ranging amateur radio network to reunite family members. Club Secretary Ambarishnak Biswas, the U2 JFA, contacted hams in Nepal who were able to locate the man's village and eventually his wife. They learned that Bir Bahadur Singh had apparently fallen ill 30 years ago while he was transporting his son from Nepal to Delhi. From there, the man somehow disappeared. The son, now grown and working in Delhi, was overjoyed his father had been found so many years later, according to media reports. He'd been coordinating with the Nepal consulate to bring his father home. And Barishnak Biswas told the Indo-Asian news service, quote, he never doubted his father and always knew that the man must have suffered some kind of mental illness to have left him alone, end quote. This is Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
With thanks to Amateur News Weekly, the American Cancer Society, ARRL, Associated Press, Australia Communications and Media Authority, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, DXWorld.net, 425DX News, FCC, Gardner News, House.gov, IARU Region 1, IARU Region 3, Indo-Asian News Service, News 2, 100 Watts in a Wire, QRZ.com, shortwaveradio.de, Soda Reflector, Variety, West Bengal Radio Club, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2023, all rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 9 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateurs. amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF-UHF net. My name is John, and my call is WO3X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more. And then as the net proceeds, we may go down to just 1 at a time. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, I will close the net after repeating the announcements. After repeating the announcements, I'll give one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. This evening, since this is the 5th Monday, the frequency will be 18.127 megahertz, plus or minus the noise, and that will be upper sideband, and that's the 17-meter band. Before the announcements, we will have a moment of silence in honor of Memorial Day. Okay, this is Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray. The name here's John, and I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Okay, so here are the announcements. On our website, www.cfarc.org, is a button to click on to sign up for your interest in our field day operation, which we will be operating from 2 p.m. Saturday, June 24th through Sunday, 2 p.m., June 25th. We will also be setting up, and that will either be late Friday or early Saturday. That will be announced after we determine what all antennas we are going to set up. So please go to that sign up section and let us know your interest in field day, and what you would want to do. So from that we can determine what all we're going to set up. Also, this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Zoom is a field day meeting. Go to the website www.cfarc.org and go to the calendar, look on Wednesday there to get the link for that Zoom meeting. Okay, let me turn my calendar here to June, and June 14th is our business meeting. Please plan to attend because we need to have a quorum because we are having our elections for officers and one trustee. After that election, we will also be having choosing a replacement trustee. So please try to attend because this is an important election. Then on June 28th, we will be having a special event presentation by Yankee United 3 Alpha Whiskey Alpha, and that will be about Vatican City amateur radio. So that will also be on Zoom, and it will be presented on Zoom at the meeting site also. Regarding the meeting site, okay, in person is at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard. Get to the parking lot by going on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard. That's all that I have in the way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking, are there any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club? Okay, not hearing any. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
Here to you. Hey, Uniform India Bravo, K8 UIB, John in Massline.
Okay, I got two there, K8PU and K8UIB. Three more check-ins. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
And 8OQP.
8YAX. Okay, I got two more that time. I got N8OQP and I got Kilo Delta 8 Yankee Alpha X-Ray. One more, please.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
Okay, I got Vince, Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar. Okay, let's go up to the top here. Larry, K8PU, go ahead with your comments.
John, everybody on the net. Great Memorial Day. I hope everybody enjoys it. This old Marine would like to give a call a shout out to all my brothers in arms that's served over the years, and those who gave all, which aren't with us anymore. And hope we all show a great appreciation to our freedoms and our privileges that we enjoy. A lot of places in the world don't live like we do, and like I say, all gave some and some gave all. So all of my brothers out there, all you guys that served, thanks and congratulations, and hope I talk to you all next year. Back to you, John. W8VPV, KHPU.
Very good, Larry. Thanks for those fine words of commemoration. Okay, that takes us to K8UIB. Go ahead with your comments.
W8VPV from K8UIB. Good evening, Net, and happy Memorial Day to everybody. Just wanted to chime in there, give you one for the numbers, and tell everybody happy Memorial Day. Hope everybody had a safe and pleasant weekend and enjoyed the beautiful weather. And with that, this is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform India Bravo, and I'll hand this back over to Net Control, 7-3, y'all.
Okay, John, thanks for checking in, and I have your call corrected. I added the E Echo after the Kilo. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, next is Pat, N80QP. Go ahead, Pat, with your comments.
Good evening, John, and everybody on the net. Don't know a whole lot today, or tonight. Just again, thank you to all that served to protect our freedoms. This is your Memorial Day, and it, in some cases, is sad, and in some cases, it is a very welcome occasion. That being said, really haven't had a whole lot going on with me this week. I actually did some stuff over the weekend, had a couple of really glorious days outside, and it's supposed to do nothing but get warmer. So we'll take that. But I think that's about it, John. I'll go ahead and turn it over to your very capable hands. One question, though, what is the frequency for the ExplorerNet tonight?
Okay, Pat, very good. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. The band expiration net is on 17 meters, and it's on 18.127 megahertz. So anybody who is checking in has to have a general license or higher, and that's upper sideband.
Okay, copied that. I wasn't sure. I'll set that up on the radio now. Thanks, John. Have a good evening, and AOQP back to net.
Okay, thanks, Pat, 73, and I'll listen for you later on the 17-meter band. Okay, so let's see. Next is Forrest, Kilo Delta 8, Yankee Alpha X-Ray. Go ahead, Forrest, with your comments.
I have no comments. I am just trying to help keep the numbers up.
Very good. Thanks for keeping the numbers up there, Forrest, 73, and have a good evening. And maybe we'll hear you on the 17-meter band there later. Okay, so next is Vince, AC8XO. Go ahead, Vince, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Good evening, John, and everybody else on the net. I don't have a whole lot to say. It is 2 days, or I guess 2 full days before the end of the month. It's like we got 2 more days, and if anybody wants to turn in an article, you've got those 2 more days to do it. And I'll start working on the newsletter here after that. But other than that, not a whole heck of a lot. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. There was a flyover someplace because we're out there working in the yard, and there were very high-powered jets going by. Other than that, ain't got anything. Back to net. ACXO, back to net.
Okay, Vince. That was shortly after the Cuyahoga Falls Memorial Day Parade. and so they flew over the area. I'm on the western side of Cuyahoga Falls, and they made a couple of loops. There were two of them, and they went just a little bit west of me and then a little bit north of me. Well, coming in, they were south of me, and then they went to the west, and they were not very far west of me. I was able to see them clearly as they made their curve to circle back toward the east. So that's what that was. That was the Cuyahoga Falls Memorial Day Parade flyover. Okay, thanks for your comments there, Vince. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic, asking for 5 more check-ins. KD8VYT, I got you, Russ. We'll get back with you in a moment. Another check-in, please.
KA8WTK, in and out.
KA8WTK, Bill, I have you in and out. Thanks, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor, Quebec X-Ray, Joe in Akron.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor, Quebec X-Ray, Joe in Akron. I have you. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Delta Tango, Brian in Akron, in and out.
Let's see, Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Tango, what was it?
Yankee Delta Tango.
Yankee Delta Tango. What was your name again?
Brian, I'm in Akron. I'm just in and out.
Okay, Brian, yeah, I heard the in and out. I just wanted to get the call and the name correct. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. So let's see. I'll take 3 more. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Alpha. The name's Jim. I'm here in Stowe.
KE8ULA, I have you, Jim. Another check-in, please. Let's see, the PL tone is 110.9. Make sure you have the PL tone on for transmit. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. 2 more check-ins, please.
K8YIR, Mark and Hudson.
KE8YIR, I have you, Mark. We'll get back with you in a moment. 1 more check-in, please. Okay, not hearing any. We'll go up to the top of this group. Russ, KD8VYT. Go ahead, Russ, with your comments.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank all the veterans for their service and all the current active members of their service. And happy Memorial Day to everybody else. I just finished my Memorial Day burger, and that's about all I got. 88VYT, back to next.
Okay, Russ, very good. Thanks for your comments there. 73, and have a good evening. Let's see, so next was Bill KA-WTK, in and out, and so that takes us to Joe, KE8VQX. Go ahead, Joe, with your comments.
W8BPV, this is KE8VQX. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to wish everyone a very meaningful Memorial Day. I was down at my dad's place since they were out of town, watering plants, heard the fighters go over, couldn't see them. But anyway, I hope everyone has a good rest of the night. And so anyway, back to net. KE8VQX.
Very good, Joe. Thanks for your comments. 73, and have a good evening. Let's see here. So next was Brian, KEAYDT, Yankee Delta Tango. He was in and out. So that takes us to Jim in Stowe, KE8ULA. Go ahead, Jim, with your comments.
This is KE8ULA. Thanks, John. Everyone on the net, good evening. So I just wanted to say to all the vets out there, I know there's some, thank you for your service. I served as a reservist for 6 years, stateside, kind of like I was all dressed up with nowhere to go. Hi. So I plan on attending the field day. I'm actually filling out the form right now. Thanks for letting me know that the form for field day was on the website there, John. I appreciate it. Other than that, wife and I just got back from, we spent 2 weeks up in upper Michigan on the shore of Lake Superior. Had a great time. It was really cold. Had a few nice warm days, but mostly pretty chilly. With that, be back to the net, and hope to see everyone at field day, KE8ULA.
Okay, Joe, very good. Thanks for looking at that, or Jim. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for looking at that sign-up application there, and hope to see you there. I usually operate during the night, early, like midnight to the early hours of Sunday. So maybe we'll see you there, or maybe not. And I also participate in the teardown, also the setup too. Okay, so Jim, thanks, and maybe we'll see you there. So 73, and have a good evening. Okay, last on this round is KE8YIR. Mark. Go ahead, Mark, with your comments.
Yeah, this is KE8YIR. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for having me in on the net. And I'm just a new old ham. Got my ticket a couple of weeks ago. Had it back when I was a youngster, 60 years ago almost. So I'm back into it and just enjoying it and just checking the net. And glad to be here, and 73 to y'all, and hope y'all had a nice, happy Memorial Day.
Okay, very good, Mark. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic, asking for check-ins. Please call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Evening, John, WB8YYS, Craig in Kent.
WB8YYS, Greg, thanks for checking in. We'll get back with you in a moment, maybe sooner. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, I don't hear any. Go ahead, Greg, with your comments.
Hey, thanks, John. W8VPV and the rest of the group, WB8YYS, Greg over here in Kent. Well, I'd like to recommend or echo what everybody else said about Memorial Day. My respects to those that have served the country in the past and that are still serving the country. You have my respect there. I went down to a place of rest today and paid my respects to my dad. He did fight in World War II and is a veteran. was a member of what was known as the greatest generation the world has ever known. I think there are people that knows what that is.
8VPV. Repeater.
And I am proud to be a descendant of somebody from the greatest generation that the world has ever had. So, really feel proud here today. Let's see here, John, looking forward to the Zoom meeting on Wednesday. And already made my reservations for field day there. So, looking forward to getting out in the field and doing some more stuff there. Hey, the space station will fly by this evening at 10:12. It'll make a 5-minute pass at 38 degrees, and John, it was quite loud going over when you were given the preamble. So it should be easy to hear tonight or see. You can listen to it on 437.8. Let me take a break. 37.8 is the downlink, and that'll be at 10:12 tonight. Now, tomorrow night at 9:23, it'll make a 7-minute pass at 80 degrees, almost overhead. And you look forward to a period in the northwest sky moving toward the east-southeast, so hopefully the skies will be clear. As far as the day goes, I don't know if you could have asked for a better day. It was nice out, sunny, a little bit of a breeze blowing, and the weather gods put together a good one today. So looking forward to the rest of the week here. I don't think we're going to have any rain for a while. That's about all I got. John, talking your ear off there, doing a fine job on the net. We'll turn it back to you. W8VPV, WBAYYS.
This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. What was the time on that 80 degrees tomorrow?
Tomorrow night at 9:23, be a 7-minute pass at 80 degrees, and that's almost overhead. Should appear in the northwest sky toward the east-southeast, and a little bit later this evening, it'll appear in the west-northwest sky at 10:12.
Okay, thanks for that information. And maybe we'll hear you this evening on the band exploration net on 17 meters on 18.127 megahertz plus or minus QRM.
OQP recheck.
N8 OQP, go ahead with your recheck.
I just wanted to add a little bit to what Greg was saying there. If you haven't listened or new hams haven't tuned into that, it's pretty interesting to listen to. And if you have any kind of a decent vertical antenna that does 440 and 2 meters, it's a piece of cake to actually get into it and talk on the IIS repeater. That thing is, I've actually done it twice myself in the last year or so, and each time it's a blast to do. You can hear stations from as far away as Nebraska, and if that thing tomorrow night is at 80 degrees, there isn't any telling where your signal is going to end up. You know, you might be talking to somebody in New Mexico or as far away as Nebraska or Iowa. Anyway, that was about it. I've always found that thing interesting to talk to. And it'll keep me back to net.
Okay, thanks, Pat, and thanks, Greg, for that time and angle for the International Space Station. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
November 8, America, Charlie Papa.
N8ACP, Chris, go ahead with your comments. We'll go one at a time now.
Thank you, John, and good evening to you and all on the net. Just a reminder that this year the Museum Ships Weekend event, Museum Ships on the Air, will be held this following weekend from 0000 Zulu June 3rd to 23:59 June 4th, 2023. There are currently 91 ships participating worldwide, and a number of Northeast Ohio amateur radio operators will be activating the historic USS Cod on Lake Erie. We will be aboard the boat in the radio room using the original 40-meter NZ aerial and the call sign Whiskey 8 Cod, operating on single sideband and CW modes, mainly in the general portions of the band. If you need further information, you can go to NovemberJuliet2BravoBravo.org/museum. NovemberJuliet2BravoBravo.org/museum. And if you hear us, we hope to work you. Back to net control from November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa.
Okay, thanks for that information, Chris. Very good. Okay, so I'll repeat that website at the end of the net here. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
Kilo Echo 8 Uniform Lima Alpha, recheck.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, John. This is Jim. So I'm just curious now about the ISS. I didn't catch the time that we'd be able to maybe communicate with it, and does anyone know what frequency we should be on? KE8 ULA, over.
Yeah, Jim, I keep calling you Joe. Let's see, I guess you listen on 437.8. Greg, WB8YYS, what is the up frequency?
On the uplink frequency is 145.99. You have to use a PO tone of 67.0.
Copy that. Thanks for the info, KE8 ULA. I didn't catch the time that we'd be able to make communication with the satellite. KE8 ULA, over.
Go ahead, Greg. Repeat those times.
Okay. This evening, the time will be 10:12. 5 minutes past 38 degrees. If you stack your fist on top of itself 4 times, you should come up with pretty close to 38 or 40 degrees. Should be seeable around here. Look for it to appear in the west-northwest sky. And tomorrow evening at 9:23, it'll be a 7-minute pass at 80 degrees, which around here is nearly overhead. Again, it will appear in the northwest sky, and it will look to move to the east-south.
Copy that, KE8 ULA.
Another recheck, N8OQP.
Go ahead, Pat. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Keep in mind on the IIS that there's actually 2 ways of talking to them. The astronauts talk on the frequency that I think Greg gave, plus there's a way of hitting the IIS repeater. If you want information on that, I won't tie the net up with this, but if you want information on that, just look up IIS repeater on Google or whatever, and you'll get how to actually communicate with it. It's a blast to do, I'm telling you. There's about 8 frequencies because of the Doppler effect I think it's on the 440 side. There's 8 frequencies that you can use to actually tune in on it and hear it as it passes. But it's a lot of fun. Back to net, N8OQP, thanks.
Thank you for that, KE8 ULA, out.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Pat and Greg, for that information about the International Space Station. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any at this time. I will repeat the announcements. So go to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club website to sign up for to register your interest in what you would like to do with our field day. It is June 24th. The operation is June 24th and 25th in Stowe, Silver Springs Park on Groundhog Hill. And you get to our site from Young Road by going in the entrance for the campgrounds. So go to www.cfarc.org. Right up the top is a button there to click on Field Day and fill in the form there to let us know your interest so that we can determine what all we want to set up. Okay, and there is a Zoom meeting on May 31st about Field Day. It starts at 7 p.m. and it's only on Zoom, no in person for that one. That's May 31st. That's this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. Again, the website has the link. Go to www.cfarc.org, and the calendar is on the right, and scroll down to Wednesday, May 31st. Then on June 24th is our meeting, and this will be the officers and trustee election, so we need to have a quorum. You can either be in person or on Zoom, and if you are on Zoom, then contact me by email with your vote. I will have my PC there to have my email working.
The 14th, not the 24th.
Oh, did I say the 24th? Yeah, the 14th. That's June 14th. 14th, yeah, not the 24th. June 14th. So please try to attend. If you can't do it in person, at least do it on Zoom. And in person, it's at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard. Get to the parking lot by going south on 2nd Street from Broad Boulevard. Okay, then on June 28th, both in person and on Zoom, there will be a presentation on Zoom by Yankee United 3 Alpha Whiskey Alpha, and I believe that the topic is the Vatican City. So that should be something really interesting, totally different. So please attend to that, and that will start at 7:30, and again, it will also be on Zoom. Now, on June 24th and 25th is our field day operation. As I mentioned, it's on Groundhog Hill in Silver Springs Park in Stowe. Get to it by entering the campground road on Young Road. And we'll either have set up late Friday or early Saturday. So, and then tear down after 2 p.m. on Sunday. So go to that sign up page and show your interest in what you would like to do with our field day operation. Now, Chris, N8ACP mentioned that there's a special event on starting on June 3rd, and to get the time and frequencies and so forth, go to nj2bb.org/museum. That's November Juliet 2 Bravo Bravo.org/museum to get the details on that. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is WO3X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 14 check-ins counting myself, and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:13 p.m. local time. 7-3.
Yeah, sir. Catch you on 17 meters. AOQP.
Yeah, the band expiration net will be on 17 meters on 18.127 megahertz, upper sideband.
I looked with envy as your part of the world has been working Europe on 6 meters.
Hey, South Alpha, Victor Echo Dave is the name. Eastern Texas, West Texas is the QTH there. Yeah, just listening there. Up the band a little bit and kind of come down here and see what is there. So I wasn't sure if the conditions are still up or not, but you're coming through very well there. KR6 Bravo Bravo, W5NQH, over.
It's been stormy earlier, about 76 degrees, and we could use a little rain. I was out mowing. I live on 109 acres, and we have about it's heavily forested, and I have about 3.5 miles of walking trails. So this was the day to run the mower over all the trails, and I was surprised how dusty it was. We've had a lot of rain this year, about 30 inches so far, which is
which is more than normal. So I was surprised how dusty things have already gotten after a short spate of no rain. Go ahead. Yep, definitely. We're having to irrigate the veggie gardens. Didn't have to there for the longest now, but this looks like this is going to be the year of the blackberry. It's always something explodes every year. A couple of years ago it was cucumbers. Last year it was tomatoes. This year all of a sudden the blackberry bushes were totally dormant last year, and they're making up for it this year. Every time we go out there, we pick about 100 of them. So I told my wife we're either going to have to start breaking into cars and leaving blackberries in there, or she's going to have to start making some cobblers, because I can only put so many blackberries on my grape nuts in the morning. Go ahead.
Of the state, western edge.
Knee-deep in tomatoes, but and a lot of my neighbors are.
This evening it's very nice.
Our plants haven't really started producing yet. Well, anyway, nice chatting with you, Bill. I'm going to let you tie the ribbons on it. I'll probably spin the dial and see what else is going on. You just never know what to expect on 17 meters this time of night. Might be nothing. You just never know. So anyway, it's been nice to get to know you here a little bit. The 3700 sounds good, and I guess you're going to keep that R7 because it's performing for you. Into XTS from KE5FM. Let's see, I wrote down Hotel Tango Uniform.
I lived out there many years ago. But, yeah, very good. It's a good spot, and you're doing pretty well there. You can do some traveling. We got a motorhome.
All right, I think I need to tweak the antenna a little bit for northern Missouri. Let me take geography's never been my strong suit, so let me, yeah, that'll be a little better. Anyway, you were 5.7 before I turned the antenna. It's probably a little bit better now. What's going on tonight, Lou? Yeah, your signal report, you're peaking 5 and 9. As you turned it back over to me, you're about down to S5, but it'll come and go. That's just the nature of 17 meters today. Well, I'm glad you finally discovered 17 meters. This has been my favorite band for, at least the last decade. This is my go-to band. I'll venture elsewhere. 6 meters has been a lot of fun lately, but yeah, I'll come here first and last. It's just a really friendly band. I like to call it 20 meters without the attitude. K0 Hotel Delta uniform from KE5 Fake News. Well, thank you, Lou. It's sounding great here. Well, I'm glad you finally decided to try 17. It's really a fabulous band. Usually about this time of the evening, the Australians and New Zealand, usually they've been in for hours. They start coming through about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here. And but lately, anything can come through at any time. It's not unusual at all for Europe to still be coming through at this time of night. They used to fade out around 11 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't happen anymore. We've waited a long time to get these great conditions, and I'm just enjoying the heck out of it. Go ahead. Yeah, really good. I think there might be a braking station. There's someone else that would like to join us. This is Kilowatt Echo 5, Foxtrot November. I'm located in Southeast Texas, listening. Okay, Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Tango Kilo from KE5 Fox. Nancy, are you hearing the station in Missouri as well? Okay, and what's the name? Okay, let's see. Lou, are you copying the station in Western Pennsylvania at all? Okay, well, I'll give him a signal report, and anyway, thanks for checking in with us. The other station's not copying you, so guess it won't be possible for you to join us. That would have been fun. But anyway, your report here is about 5 and 7 in Southeast Texas. Go ahead. KO4VTK from KE5FN. You still with me? Very good. Well, your signal report here is 5 and 7. I'm gonna have to let you go because the other station can't hear you. But anyway, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it very much. KO4VTK from KE5FN. Go ahead. 73, and have a great evening. And back over to K0HDU from KE5FN. Lou, what all are you hearing on in your part of the world on the radio? Yeah, 200 miles is going to be pretty tough unless you have a beam. Up on 140, up 5 kcs from So if we all port our antennas west, I can hear them just fine, just as easily as I'm talking to you, and it's all backscatter. So it's almost like having a 2-meter net here on HF, but backscatter is what makes it happen. But you pretty much need a beam with some fairly decent gain and a little bit of power for that to work. I don't think you're going to have any luck with backscatter with a dipole and 100 watts. At least that's been my experience. Well, the band conditions are changing a little bit, Lou. I'm going to let you run, and thank you so much for the call. It's been nice to get to know you here. Your station sounds great, so keep up the good work. Back to you for a final. K0HDU from KE5FM. Very good, Lou. Well, I'm not in that big of a hurry. I'm happy to give you my name. It's Jim, Juliet, India, Mexico, and the QTH is about 70 miles west of Houston. 73, and good evening. Really nice getting to know you. K0HDU from KE5 Fox Nancy. Let's see. It's faster than I could write. Whiskey, India 9, Juliet, Alpha, Yankee. How close did I get? Yeah, you've got a nice signal as well. A little over S9 on the meter. Obviously a 5.9 report going into the log. Jay, I'm running a 7300 here. Actually, your signal's probably a lot stronger than that. I've got a lot of DSP kicked in because we have a lot of local storms. So without that, you're probably about 20 over. An IC 7300. The amp is the ever cheaper, cheerful Ameritron 811. That's the 4-tube version. Power out a little over 500 watts to a small Mosley, a TA60.
Band Explorer net. My name is John, and my call is WO3X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, And since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep us updated about club happenings. This Band Explorer net meets every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. local time, preceded by the VHF-UHF net at 8:30 and Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. The frequency of the band exploration net is on our calendar. Search around the bands to find the net. So when checking in, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. Also let me know if you have any comments or traffic for the net, or if you are checking in and out. I will start with announcements and then call for officers or members who have special items. After that, I will call for check-ins. Then, when all have checked in, I will repeat the announcements. After that, I'll give one last call for check-ins and then close the net. Okay, it will take a moment of silence in honor of veterans on this Memorial Day. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, and here are the announcements. On May 31st, that's this coming Wednesday, is a field day Zoom meeting. It starts at 7 p.m. and it will be on Zoom. Go to the calendar, www.cfarc.org, to get the link. Again, that's this coming Wednesday, May 31st at 7 p.m. Also, there is a field day sign-up tab. There's a field day sign-up tab on the website. It's at the very top of the page. It says FD info and sign-up form. So please click on that and fill it in so that we can know your interest in field day operation, which we have on Groundhog Hill in Stowe, Silver Spring Park. Enter from Young Road, the road for the campground. And then on June 14th is our business meeting, and we will be having elections. So we need to have a quorum, so please try to attend. That's at 7:30, and it will be on Zoom and also in person. In person, it will be at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ on 130 Broad Boulevard. It's their social hall. And enter the parking lot by going south on 2nd Street off of Broad Boulevard. Then June 24th and 25th is our field day operation. The radio operation is from 2 p.m. June 24th to 2 p.m. June 25th. It goes for 24 hours. And then we either have the equipment to be set up on Friday or early Saturday. And so when you're filling out that form, take note of, let us know what your interest is also in the setup or the teardown. The teardown starts immediately after the radio operation ends at 2 p.m. Sunday. So let us know your interest about that too. Okay, and then on June 28th is our event, and it's an activity meeting, and it will be a presentation by Maria Kostic, Yankee United 3 Alpha Whiskey Alpha of Serbia on Tota, and it may be Vatican City in the presentation. So that's going to be something different and really interesting. So you can see that either on Zoom or in person at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard. Let's see here. What else do we have here? Okay, there is a special event online where you can get the information online and go to it's with W8COD and get the time of the operation from November Juliet 2 Bravo Bravo, that's nj2bb.org/museum, and see about making contact with W8COD, and that will be June 3rd and June 4th. Okay, and so you can get the time and the frequencies of the that special event. Okay, let's see here. I believe that's all that I have in the way of announcements. Well, the International Space Station is going to be passing over this evening at 10:12 p.m., 38 degrees, and it will be a 5-minute passover starting in the west-northwest. The frequency to hear it is 437.8 megahertz. And let's see here. Tomorrow at 9:23 p.m. is the 7-minute pass, and it will be at 80 degrees, so it's almost straight up. Yeah, the pass tonight is at 38 degrees, starting in the west-northwest. Let's see, but tomorrow it will be at 80 degrees. That's at 9:23 p.m. for 7 minutes. It starts in the northwest and goes to the east-southeast. Okay, well, that's all I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. KD8YAX, I have you, Forrest. We'll just go one at a time. Go ahead with your comments there, Forrest. Okay, thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, another check-in, please. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
November 8, Ocean Queen Papa.
November 8, Ocean Queen Papa. Good evening, Pat. What's going on over there?
Not much, just one to the numbers, I guess. We pretty much aired everything earlier this evening. Good job on both nets, and we'll talk to you hopefully by Wednesday. AOQP.
Okay, thanks. What's my signal strength over there at your place?
I've got you at about an S8, 8.5, 9. It's pretty decent. It's not like you normally sound, but you're up there about normal.
Okay, yeah, that's about what I'm getting you at too. So thanks for that signal report. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic asking for check-in. Please call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
November 8th, America, Charlie Papa.
N8ACP. Go ahead, Chris, with your comments.
Oh, I don't have too much there, John. Yeah, like Pat said, you're giving me about an S8. A little bit noisy on the band tonight, so noise level is high, but you sound fine, no problem copying you. So we'll say 73 to all, and Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor from November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa at 73.
73 there, Chris, and thanks for telling us about W8COD. I announced that website there. So 73 and have a good evening. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. KATU, good evening, Larry. What's going on over there?
Well, just enjoying all this nice weather. Nice lots of grass to mow and beat it, so we'll be shoveling. Anyway, John, the shout out there is all the vets and folks who serve, week to serve, serving now, and folks who the farmers. We appreciate everything. I was a Marine Corps myself, and we enjoy a lot of freedoms, and I hope everybody remembers and appreciates that, because a lot of people in the world don't have the rights that we have, and it's pretty daggone good. Okay, that's about all. We don't have a meeting with this field day meeting. Hopefully we'll check into that on Zoom. John, back to you, WHBTV, KQ.
Yeah, very good, Larry. Yeah, the next in-person meeting is June 24th. June 14th. June 14th. That will be the election. So we need a lot of people to attend so we can have a quorum. So thanks for those words of commemoration, Larry, and we'll listen for you on the Zoom meeting there. May 31st, 7 p.m. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. I can't tell if there's somebody in there or not. Sounds like maybe some other conversation going on. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting many on this band because you need a general license to operate on this frequency. So with that, I will repeat the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-in. Okay, so go to the field day sign-up sheet. It's at the top of our webpage, www.cfarc.org. It says SD Info and Sign Up Form. So click on that to let us know your interest in our field day operation and what part of it you would like to participate in, if so. And again, that field day operation, there's a setup. We will either have that late Friday, June 23rd, or early Saturday, June 24th, and the radio operation starts at 2 p.m. Saturday and runs through 2 p.m. Sunday. It's a 24-hour operation. So if you'd like to operate, let us know. And there's also a GOTA station, which you don't even need a license for that. There'll be a captain for that station, and you can make contacts. And that's especially good for even licensed amateurs who have a general and above that have not made hardly any contact, if any, on the HS band. So take a look at that too. And so let's see, then May 31st is a Zoom meeting about field day. Go to the calendar there, www.cfarc, and scroll down to May 31st to get the link for the Zoom meeting. All are welcome. You don't have to be a club member. Okay, then, like I said earlier, June 14th is our business meeting, and we will be having elections. If you're on Zoom, you can send your vote to my email address, which we'll announce at the meeting. And so please try to attend that so that we have a quorum. And then June 28th will be a special presentation by Maria Kostic, Yankee United 3 Alpha Whiskey Alpha of Serbia on POTA, and I think it may be from Vatican City or about Vatican City. Something about Vatican City is involved in that presentation, so that's something totally different. Ought to really be interesting. Let's see. So that's all that okay. Then there's W8COD Special Event Station. This coming toward the end of the week. Yeah, it's this weekend. Okay, so go to nj2bb.org/museum to get the details on that, to make contact with them, so you can get the time and frequencies from there. That's November Juliet 2 bravo.org/museum to find the contact information with W8 COD. That's Whiskey 8, Charlie Oscar Delta. Let's see here. So, okay, the International Space Station's going to be flying over tonight at 10:12 p.m., 38 degrees, 5 minutes from the west-northwest. And then tomorrow at 9:23 p.m. for 7 minutes at 80 degrees from the northwest to the east-southeast. You can listen to that on 437.8. And you can talk to them if you want to on 145.99 megahertz with a PL tone of 67. PL tone of 67.0. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-in.
KA2GLJ.
Was that N82DLJ? Delta Lima Juliet, is that right?
No, it's KA2GLJ. Killa Alpha 2 Golf Lima Juliet.
Kilo Alpha 2 Golf Lima Juliet. Oh, great. Where are you? What was your name again?
Yeah, the handle here is Martin. The QTH is San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, wow, great. We don't usually get any check-ins from far away. That's great. Let's see. What's going on out there, Martin?
Not much. You popped on to a frequency where we have a bunch of people that usually talk about transportational types and things, anywhere from boats, planes, trains, race cars, and this and that. And we usually congregate on this frequency, and I'm glad that you're activating it a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah. The reason we're on this frequency is this is the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Band Exploration Net. And if there's a fifth Monday in a month, then we have it on a frequency that's not on our regular schedule. So this time we're on 18.127, and then I think there's a fifth Monday in July, so we will be on 24.972 that day. This net starts at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and let's see, on the first Monday of a month, we're on 6 meters on 50.270 megahertz. Then on the second Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we're on 28.360 megahertz. On the third Monday, we're on 40 meters on or about 7.187 megahertz. We have to find an empty spot for that one. And then on the fourth Monday of a month, we're on 80 meters on 3.827 megahertz. Again, plus or minus QRM. So thanks for checking in. It's good to hear somebody from out of town. And so I'll say 73 to you, Martin, and have a good evening.
Okay, very good. I see you guys are pretty much on every ham band that there is, and that's pretty good. Yeah, I usually hang my hat here, and I'm glad to hear that somebody's here sometimes on the evening. And once again, good to make your acquaintance.
Okay, yeah, my call is Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, and my name is John, Juliet Oscar Hotel November. And I'm using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We are the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, and our website is www.cfarc.org. So thanks for checking in with us, 73, and have a good evening. I'll break with Martin in San Antonio, Texas, and I'll give one last call for check-ins. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. KD8YAX, yeah, I got you, Forrest. You were number 1 check-in. Oh, wait a minute. Repeat that call again. Is that TIN? Oh, okay, I got the QRN. What was the beginning of that call? Oh, Forrest. Oh, okay. Oh, that's, let's see, that's Quebec Romeo Mike. It means if somebody's operating on that frequency, like 7.187, then we have to move up or down to find an empty spot. QRM means there's man-made operation going on. Okay, thanks for it. And so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-in. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. As mentioned earlier, this band exploration net meets every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Next week, the frequency will be 50.270 megahertz upper sideband. Please feel free to check in regularly, even if only for a moment. All comments are welcomed and valuable to us. This has been John, and my call is WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, and it has been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net and return the frequency to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:59 p.m. Eastern Time with 6 check-ins counting myself. 73